What's this? 2 parts of this story in the same week? What even is this madness? Well, yes, we are continuing with the story of Yajirobe finally applying himself, wouldn't you know it? According to some various sources scattered around the internet, Yajirobe had the potential to be an absolute unit in the Dragon World. Thanks to his loneliness though, and his ability to take the rigors of the time chamber like a duck to water, this gave the Ronin a huge head start over Goku. In the last part, Yajirobe, now healed up by Goku and a Senzu Bean, and the Saiyan himself, were ready to face down the opposing menace that was his brother Raditz. However, upon further use of the Scouter, the Pineapple Warrior realized that he was going up against 2 beings whose power levels were a little bit uncomfortably close to his own, and if he faced them at the same time, he would not probably make it out in one piece, probably many pieces. He had one chance to divide and conquer, and he'd blown it. So instead of putting up his dukes, as it were, Raditz decided to cut a deal, isolate Vegeta and Nappa from the overall narrative, at least for the time being. That way, the Dragon Balls are not mentioned, but the brother of Goku decides to back off somewhat, not get involved in combat. Having not kidnapped Gohan in this timeline, Goku is a little bit more receptive to the idea of trusting Raditz and letting him go, but he will still not join his side. However, Yajirobe finds a better way to use this guy's power to their advantage, and drags him into the search for Gohan, to which the Saiyan visitor accepts. Far from the scene, Piccolo is quickly subdued, and Gohan is rescued, having shown the initial signs of his rage boosts in which to break himself free and lead the trio of fighters to his location and incapacitate the likes of the now discovered to be Namekian. Raditz and Goku leave on good terms, and the brother of Goku vows to throw the Saiyans off the scent of his initial hunt for his brother, whilst also making the Earthlings quite clearly aware of his superior's existence. It's quite dangerous out there in space. Unfortunately for Raditz though, his earlier stunt of throwing the Scouter away, hoping that just distracted Vegeta and Nappa, and the subsequent withdrawal from Earth without his brother as a sign of incompetence, which emboldened the prince into going to the planet himself. It had completely backfired Raditz's plan, and decided to do Raditz's job for him. Besides, there wasn't anything else going on for these two at the time, so why not go stretch their legs and take out this planet? It sounded like good fun. They would get another Saiyan weakling patsy to bark orders at. Let's resume, shall we? In the weeks prior to Raditz's dropping the ball with Vegeta and Nappa, shortly after his departure, Goku and Yajirobe had taken the warning from the warrior very seriously, and prepared by training up harder than ever to be ready in case something from space came along, that those superiors did pay a visit, and they encouraged their friends to do so as well, including Yamcha, Tenshinhan, Krillin, and Chaozu. They didn't really see the point in doing all of this though, since Raditz had promised to keep Earth a secret. Surely that would have been enough. The Ronin though, wasn't convinced.
The way I saw it, that punk was a sneak through and through. He'll say whatever he has to say to avoid any sort of hardship. He buttered us up well good, so we would let him go, and that meant that he escaped from me kicking his ass.
Hey, he's my brother, you know. You don't have to gotta talk to him about him like that,
said Goku, piping up.
Well, what would make you think I'd let you, huh?
Come on, like you two were gonna hug it out. You were happy to see him leave too, right?
Goku nodded reluctantly.
He's still related to me.
Yajirobe chuckled before his phone rang, and he promptly answered.
Hello? Ah, Bulma. It's ready? Sweet. I'll be right over.
He picked up a capsule, and out popped from it his trusty automobile. He hopped in and got himself comfortable. Kami then walked up and eyeballed the vehicle.
So, this is one of those automobiles. As much as I am curious, I do not see why you would need it, Yajirobe. You have acquired the ability to fly. This is by surely means redundant. Huh? I ain't gonna waste energy on that when I don't have to. This baby could do the work for me. Peace out.
With that, Yajirobe flew away at breakneck speed, kicking up tons of dust that had settled on the lookout, sending everyone, including Kami, into a fit of coughs. When it had settled, Kami sighed.
I am not so sure if I should be assured or concerned that he isn't the strongest fighter on the planet right now.
Oh, it's alright, Kami. I'll catch up.
Kami smiled.
In fact, I was about to talk to you and Yajirobe about a proposition. It's a long shot, I know, but there is a master out there, far in the depths of the other world, that might be of interest to you both in your quest.
Oh, yeah?
As Kami filled Goku in on this revelation, Yajirobe was flying his car to West City to Capture Corp to pick up his special project that he had been working on since Raditz's departure. When Bulma came to greet him, he was not in the mood for small talk.
Whatever, just give me the goods, toots.
Bulma was still really annoyed with this discourse, but she knew he was pretty strong and that he had paid her for the privilege of making this, which was more than could be said for whenever Goku asked a favor from her. She led him down to her underground workshop, away from the main shop, this was where she had her secret stuff, and presented the results of her handiwork. There, right before him, was a set of basic Ronin armor.
Is that it?
He said, somewhat disappointed. Bulma, now removing her filter, looked annoyed.
You told me to leave it simple so you could add to it later, remember? The trophies of your victories, you said? So, look! There's the pieces of armor that Raditz left on there. Although you technically lost your one-on-one with him.
Shut up! Fine. Yeah, I did say that. It's a work in progress, yeah, but finally, I feel like I'm ready to forge my path in becoming something folks will fear and respect.
He put the armor on, and whilst it was a little bit snug to begin with, it settled into its final shape on his frame. And he was quite comfortable. And he looked like a badass. As he practiced some sword swipes with it, getting used to it, Bulma was curiously observing him. He looked properly in flow. It was really intriguing.
I don't get it. Why the change in heart, Yajirobe?
What's that supposed to mean?
He said in between thrusts of the katana.
Well, when we first met, you were quite the arrogant jerk. You still are, kinda, but you've been way more useful lately. Why is that?
The Ronin didn't take too kindly to those remarks.
Hey, I saved Goku from the brink of death when King Piccolo almost iced him back then. I've been more useful than you think. I just pick and choose the right times to put in the effort.
So, basically when you feel like it, huh?
Said Bulma dryly.
You don't have to put it so bluntly, you know.
So with Raditz you helped because?
He pissed me off.
Then he turned to Bulma.
He pissed my friend off too. Nobody does that.
She smiled.
So there's a soft spot for people in there after all.
Hey, don't get any ideas.
He tossed some coin to Bulma.
Here's the tip for the suit. Thanks.
Without another word, he marched out, slotting his sword into the included sheath of his armor. The fishing rod dangled in the water, the ripples flowing from the tip of the bait, before it plunged deep into the river, pulling out a substantial fish, ready for Yajirobe's late-night snack.
Awesome,
he said, eating the fish whole in one fell swoop. He had gotten good at eating fish efficiently. After all, he had had a busy day's worth of training and socializing, the socializing more challenging than training. It was times like these he missed. It almost made him regret getting all chummy with Goku and his family and friends. But without them, he probably wouldn't be as powerful as he was right now. And that power felt so good to show off to people, so that he could intimidate them, to leave him alone. And now he'd been able to intimidate aliens. Unfortunately for him though, his silence was interrupted by indeed Goku, who snuck up on him, causing him to fall in the river. Goku offered him a hand out of the water, but he declined it.
What's the big idea? Why aren't you in your bed with your woman?
Said Yajirobe tersely.
Couldn't sleep. On the fact of the big news.
What big news? There's a new all-you-can-eat joint opening around here? Please tell me it's that.
Better! Kami's got a possible new master for us to go learn from. In the other world.
Other world, huh? I already dislike this world a whole lot. Now I gotta learn about a whole new world?
Oh, come on, it's bigger than that. There's a place called Snake Way, and the end of it is a small planet where a guy called King Kai lives. He's gonna be our new master.
How big is this planet?
Kinda big, but also kinda small. He's the only guy living there. Well, apart from a monkey and a cricket.
Yajirobe stood up.
Interesting. Intelligent conversation then. All right, sounds neat, let's go.
He got up and put out his fire.
When do we go?
Well, I can't go yet. I haven't told Chi-Chi.
What, again? You really gotta be better at communication with your lady. I'll go on ahead then, you catch up.
Wait, but I...
See ya!
Goku was left on his own as Yajirobe headed up to the lookout without any obligation to hear more from Kami. Indeed, Kami was correct, and he had talked to the boss of the other world who had grudgingly accepted the proposal for a valid reason.
It seems that this training will be necessary after all. I didn't have the heart to tell Goku this part of the story, but it seems like his brother betrayed your trust. It is apparent that the Saiyans which you speak of are indeed headed toward Earth. When they will be here, I cannot be certain, but it's best that you two get moving. King Yemma is quite keen for you both to waste them, as he put it.
Yajirobe sighed.
I knew it. That Pineapple Man was a sneak. Let's get moving then.
Aren't you going to wait for your friend? Go together? That means you can face the arduous way of Snake Way as a team?
No way. I ain't getting nothing holding me back. Let's get this over with.
Kami relented and promptly obliged, all too aware of Yajirobe's bluntness, transporting the Ronin off to the other world, and he began his journey on Snake Way without Goku. 1,000,000 miles. On foot, mostly. Sure, he could fly some distances, but without adequate food supplies, Snake Way apparently lacked truck stops. He would have to be careful with how often he pressed on the gas. So he settled himself in for a long time of it. It would take him many weeks, but he reckoned that he could do it. And besides, with no Goku or anyone bothering him for the time being, and only the occasional ogre passing by cleaning the road every few hundred miles, he could be all alone with his thoughts for quite some time. One of his favorite activities. As the miles ticked over, the Ronin was thinking about stuff and junk, thinking over what Bulma had said. Had he gotten a soft touch since he had trained more with Kami? Perhaps, but he was still keen on forging a path for himself in life and not getting involved with too many people. They were baggage and got in the way of his pursuit of getting stronger. That had changed though. He was willing to train and get strong, unlike his earlier days when he had settled for being good enough, strong enough, just strong enough to be over most folks' capacity and boss them around. But now, he had gained a better mindset and wanted to gain strength to prove that he was strong for any human, and now stronger than aliens. Yeah, that sounded cool. But the mood was quickly changed again by Goku, who gave him a bear hug from behind.
Hey, why are you slacking? I caught up to you in no time.
It was true. Goku had bolted from the start of the road to Yajirobe's location in about an hour or two, which had taken the Ronin a couple of days to traverse.
I was taking it in. The loneliness, just what I needed. Until you showed up. You got some food?
Oh yeah, I got some. I gotta need it to keep my strength up.
You mean my strength up?
He nabbed the bag and ran off with it, laughing all the way.
Hey, get back here!
And so, the two, now reunited, surged ever faster toward their port of call, King Kai's planet. And that's where we're going to be leaving things for right now.